I was already used to the delicious breakfasts in guest houses, but I wasn't sure where to stay tonight. Fortunately, I had enough food with me. And the weather forecast was also very encouraging. Unfortunately, there was no shop in the village to buy some snacks. But in the few hours, I should reach another village where the shop should be open. This cross must be very old. I left the village of Puivert at 9 o'clock in the morning. The first destination of the day was the village Espezel, where the grocery store should be. And after that I will go as far as I can to find a place for the tent. The recent rain had obviously raised the water level of the river. I didn't want to get my feet wet, but taking off my tight compression socks wasn't an option either. I wouldn't be able to get them on again after that. That's why I always have a spare pair of shoes or boots. I put on my Gore-Tex boots and easily waded through the flooded stream. Puivert Castle. It's first mentioned in 1170 and belonged to the Cathar supporters Congost family. The castle was conquered by northern crusaders in the earlier years of Albigensian crusade. I didn't climb to the castle due to the knee injury. In the end, it was more important to walk the whole trail than to visit every castle. Moreover, almost nothing has survived from the original castle to this day. Probably this river will dry up completely in the summer. In terms of vegetation, this place is very reminiscent of my homeland and the valleys crossed by many small rivers. I already thought that this time I would have to wade across river. But fortunately, this moss-covered bridge saved me. As in every village, there is a church here too. Soon the plains ended and the steep climb began. The mountains in the distance were covered in snow, and the question of overnight accommodation became more and more urgent. This day's stage was supposed to end at an altitude about 1,300 meters, where there is definitely snow. In the book, I had noticed an unmanned shelter on the mountain, but there was a huge distance to go, and I seriously doubted my ability to reach it today. Not noticing the markings, I mistakenly chose the wrong path. Later, it was no longer possible to return to the trail because of the flooded meadow, and I had to take a long detour to get back to the trail. As a result, at least an extra kilometer to walk. But what is kilometer considering the distances I had covered already? The water point marked on the map at this location was also not working. I noticed 4 hikers in the distance. Although I had planned to go straight ahead bypassing this village, the desire for a fresh tangerines and Coca-Cola Zero did not leave me in peace. So at the last moment, I decided to follow the classic route and visit the grocery store in the village. After walking for several hours without stopping, my legs began to feel tired. So I also decided to rest a little bit in the village of Espezel. The small grocery store, Petit Louis, was closed for unknown reasons, and there was no information when it will be open. In this village, you can buy an 85 square meter apartment for 65,000 euros. But if there is not even a shop in the village, what can you do here? At least, I finally managed to get drinking water. I also rested a little and ate a juicy apple. I learned from the French-speaking hikers that the grocery store will open after 1.5 hours. Moreover, I was not sure about the variety of products there. Maybe there will be only rice and flour, and bottle of wine. Anyway, I decided not to waste a minute more and move further along the trail. Later, this would turn out to be one of the wisest decisions of the entire hike. Of course, just like in the previous village, there are no serious signs of life here. And probably it's possible to beat down the real estate prices even more. I did not consider staying in one of the village's hostels as an option because it was only afternoon and there were still several hours until sunset. I could not lose valuable time. I walked as hard as I could without stopping. There would still be daylight for at least 3 hours. I had to use these 3 hours to get as far as possible. It was sure that I wouldn't reach the hut because it was too far. Plan was to walk for at least another 40 minutes. I found an interesting place to pitch the tent, but decided to keep going anyway. A view of hundreds of hills, tens of kilometers away. 30 minutes until the deadline to set up the tent. This meadow could also be a good spot for the tent. Furthermore, continuing my journey, I'm heading straight towards the icy snowy mountain from where snow will most likely blow over at my tent at night. In about 30 minutes, it will be totally dark, But I am on the mountain, and up here the sunlight will be at least a few minutes longer than in the valley, and these few minutes could help me get to the hut. I pushed myself to the limits and hoped that the hut will be open and not occupied by other hikers. In the distance, at the top of the steep mountain, is Montsegur Castle, which I should reach tomorrow. Shortly before dark, I reached the hut. After quickly checking it for insects, snakes and large spiders, I prepared my sleeping system and went to sleep.